Good afternoon, Hong Kong. It's an honor to be here with you, not just because of where we are, but because of when we are. Today, we're here because the future of the internet depends entirely on trust. Trust that's mathematical, verifiable, and fundamentally private. We are living through a time where the sources of truth itself are being questioned. And everywhere we look, the lines between signal and noise are becoming harder to discern. But amidst that uncertainty lies an opportunity. Because today, we're not just here to talk about blockchain protocols. We're here to talk about trust, how we rebuild it, how we scale it, and how we protect it in a world where trust has become a luxury. In an era that's drowning in data and starving for truth, Web3 gives us more than just new apps. It gives us new axioms. Today, we're here not just to decentralize money. We're here to decentralize meaning, to rebuild the internet not as a collection of corporate silos, but as a commons where privacy is preserved, identity is self-sovereign, and truth is not enforced by authority, but provable by math. And that, my friends, is where zero knowledge comes in. So what is zero knowledge really about? Well, zero knowledge proofs aren't just a tool. They challenge a core assumption in computing, that verification requires visibility. They let us prove something is true without revealing the underlying data. That's not magic, it's math. But it changes how systems can be designed. In theory, this lets us move beyond permission systems towards architectures where verification is mathematical, not institutional. But in practice, we're still figuring out how that plays out at scale. ZK opens the door to applications that are secure and increasingly private, though usability, performance, and tooling remain ongoing challenges. From snarks to starks to recursion and beyond, we're watching the landscape evolve rapidly, not just with faster chains, but with more verifiable ones too. And not just more private, but ideally more intentional. This isn't about hype. It's about testing what's possible, while being honest about what still isn't. Web3 laid the rails, and now we must build the trains. Web3 wasn't meant to merely tokenize everything and call it progress. Remember, crypto was born out of frustration. It served as a response to black box algorithms, opaque systems, and centralized control. Beneath the noise, the core signal still remains. We, as a community, are building a new architecture for life online, one that values verification over enforcement. And what ZK gives us is a way to scale that architecture with integrity, to run computations in private, but prove the results in public. To transact, interact, and verify, all without trading privacy for convenience. Whether you're building an identity, finance, governance, or something we haven't imagined yet, remember, ZK isn't just a cryptographic tool. It is the interface for trust. Now, some of you may be thinking, okay, cool, but when is this going to be user-friendly? When does it all work? And you're right to ask, because user experience is still hard. Tooling is still raw. Integrating ZK into real systems still takes a ton of engineering effort. But look at the pace. Look at the energy in this room. This isn't the quiet part of the journey anymore. And we're not just testing ideas in isolation anymore. We're deploying them. Every ZK project is laying the foundations for a more private, programmable future, each in their own way advancing the frontier of zero knowledge. Some are using ZK to bring private smart contracts and verifiable compliance to the world, while others are protecting user identities and personal data from misuse online. We're now seeing ZK be used by real-world applications on your smartphone to verify financial information, authenticate user-generated content, and privately prove credentials like employment, without ever needing to publicly disclose users' data to the service provider. We're moving steadily from proofs of concept to proofs as the concept. This is the builder's moment. And the future will belong to those who make privacy usable and verifiability the default. So, what comes next? Well, today we talk about blockchains and ZKs because they're new. But in 10 years, we won't need to explain ZK. We'll just use these systems that are private by default, secure by design, and verifiable end-to-end. Because that's what users will expect and what builders will deliver. Just like HTTPS became the default, just like end-to-end encryption became table stakes, the tech won't go away, but the focus will shift from how it works to what it enables. ZK will become the common denominator, unlocking scalability, enabling privacy, enhancing security, and redefining how systems coordinate trust. And it won't be limited to merely identity and payments alone. We'll have global finance that respects local privacy. We'll have governance where no ballot leaks and no count can be faked. We'll have public infrastructure that can be verified without revealing your citizens' personal data. And we'll have AI models that can prove how a decision was made without revealing the entire model itself. We're not just testing ideas in isolation anymore. The technology works, both in theory and in practice. So now it's time to build. And when we do, we won't just improve the internet. We'll raise the standards for what digital systems should be. And when we look back, we'll say, this was when it all shifted. So as we kick off the House of ZK today, I want to leave you with this. We don't need louder claims. We need stronger proofs. Zero-knowledge proofs aren't just a breakthrough. It's a foundation, a way to engineer systems that respect users, scales trust, and proves what matters most without exposing what doesn't. This isn't about hype. It's about solving real problems with better tools. So today, I challenge each of you. As you watch the upcoming talks and panels, I invite you to latch on to just one application or use case of ZK that grabs your attention. And take that idea home to your team and share it. Publish a blog post, write a tutorial, or even create a GitHub repository highlighting your understandings and insights, your experimentations, or even your questions from today. Because open collaboration accelerates our collective progress. And it's exactly how we'll move beyond promises towards proven trust, verifiable privacy, and measurable impact. The future won't be trusted simply because it's regulated. It'll be trusted because it's provable. And that starts here. Thank you all, and I hope you have a wonderful, inspiring time here at the Web3 Festival.